guys, welcome to another episode of Codergirl.py. I'm Serenity, aka Codergirl, and this is my friend Scooter. Last video, I talked to you about what programming is and about the different programming languages. In this video, I'm going to show you where programmers go to program. I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. When you program, you can't just do it in a Google document, for example. You have to be able to run and interact with your code. And programmers do this by writing in what's called an IDE, or Integrated Development Environment. It allows programmers to run, write, and interact with their code, as well as find errors in it, and it's super useful. There are multiple IDEs out there, so choosing one is just personal preference. They each have unique features, so you have to find one that's right for you. The tutorial that I'll be walking you guys through today is Cloud9, which is my personal favorite IDE. I found it to be really user-friendly and really easy to understand and go through. So I decided that it's the one that I'll be using for my tutorials. To start, you're going to want to go to Cloud9's website at c9.io. I'll have the link down in the description. c9.io. There you go. When you're at the website, you're going to want to go to pricing and choose the free. Click sign up to create an account. Enter your email address, gmail.com, and then you're going to enter your name. I'll just enter Codergirl for now. You're going to choose a username. Note that when you enter your username, you can't include spaces, hyphens, underscores, or periods. So just keep that in mind. I'll choose Codergirl.py. And then you're going to tell them a little bit about yourself. What kind of developer are you? I'm going to choose student. How will I use Cloud9? I'm going to choose for hobby projects. Next. Confirm your details. This is all correct. Next. All right, at this moment, they're going to want you to enter your credit card details. Note, this is free. This is in case you want to upgrade to the premium version later on. And once you've done all of that, you're going to reach a page kind of like this. They're going to want you to verify your password via an email they send you. I'll do that later, but you can pause this and do it right now. So to create your own IDE, you're going to hit this button, create a new workspace. And then this is kind of where you get to customize it. You get to choose your workspace name, the description, whether you want it private or public, etc. So I'll call it Codergirl.py, and I'll make a short description to teach others about programming. Now, in the free version, you only get one private workspace. So it really doesn't matter if you want it to be private or public. Just make sure that if you choose private, this will be your only private workspace unless you upgrade to premium. So I'll choose public just for now. The difference between public and private workspaces: private, you can only see your workspace. You are the only one that can access your workspace and make changes to it. In the public workspace, everybody can see it and different people can access and change it. One reason, if you want it to be public, it can help if you want others to see what you're doing or how you're changing your code or just what's in your workspace. It really just depends on what you want. Don't worry about this clone from Git or Mercurial URL. This is if you have a different IDE and another website, but you don't have to worry about that right now. So right here it says choose a template. And this is where it kind of gets fun and interesting. Cloud9 can specialize around a certain language: HTML, JavaScript, PHP, or Python. Since I'm going to be teaching tutorials in Python, I'm going to click the Python template and then create workspace. Note, this will take a few seconds to load and generate your workspace. So just give it a moment and it'll load for you. So once your workspace has been created, you'll probably get something a little bit like this. I already clicked notifications off, but if you haven't, there will be little circles underneath each button that you can click to figure out what the buttons do. So this README is just an introduction from Cloud9 that's showing you and kind of introducing you to the Cloud9 IDE. They have an example program over here that you can check out later. I'm not going to do it right now, but feel free to pause and check it out at this moment. So I'm just going to exit out of this and exit out of this, just so we have a blank space. What I'm concerned about at the moment is right here. This is known as the terminal, and it's the actual place where you'll be able to run, interact, and check for errors in your code. Now, you actually write in a file, and that's where you'll store your programs and everything else, all the code that you'll write. To make a file, you can do it in two different ways. First, you click File up here, and you can click New File. And there you go, you got a blank file. And you could put code in here. I'm just gonna put print hello. We'll cover it later. So right now, don't worry about it, but later on, you'll be able to put all the code you want in here. Now, to save your file, you're gonna hit File, Save. And it'll give you an option, what do you wanna save it as? I'm just gonna put test. Now, the problem is we can't just name it test and be done with it. The computer doesn't know what computer programming language we're actually coding in. And so we have to give it a hint by using what's called an extension or an add-on to the finale of our file name. And the Python extension is .py. Kinda like my name, right? Codergirl.py. All right, and you're gonna click Save. Now, if the program that you're writing in isn't in Python, for example, HTML or JavaScript, you're going to use the extensions for those computer programming languages. For example, in HTML, the extension is .html, and in JavaScript, the extension is .js. All right? Well, when you start making more and more programs, it can kind of get really cluttered. For example, if I just keep making programs here, test1.py, as you start making more programs, it can be hard to find the certain file you're looking for. We use, in Cloud9, directories or folders to help organize what the files are. To make a new folder, you're going to right-click this main workspace right here, and this should be whatever you call your workspace. You're going to right-click that, and it should open up a little window like this. You're going to go all the way down and click New Folder. Right here, you can name your folder whatever you want. But I want to take a moment to pause and explain what you can't name folders or files. When you run a file or when you name a folder, the computer is looking for that folder's name and expects that name to be just one word. If you name your folder or file two separate words, the computer won't know which one is the actual folder name. The first word, the second word, the third word, so on. So it's easier to just name it one word. And you connect this by underscores, hyphens, periods, whatever you want. I'll just call it test. Now, the test files that I made earlier aren't actually in the test folder yet. To move a file to a folder, all you have to do is drag the file and move it to whichever folder you want. Drag it over to test. Now, if I open and close the test folder, it's in the test folder. Great, right? And if you want to move more than one file to a folder, that's perfectly fine. There you go. Another cool feature about Cloud9 is you can actually put folders inside other folders. So right-click test again, hit new folder, and there you go. We have another folder inside test. Perfect, right? Now, when you actually start making your programs, there are different ways that you can actually run those programs. The probably easiest way is to hover or select whichever file you want to run. I'll run test.py right now with the example code that I put in it. And you're going to click this run button right here, right on top. And you click that, and it'll give you a new little terminal right here. And you can scroll up, and there we go. Hello. The other way to run your code is to go into the folder that code is located in and run it from there. So what you're going to do, down here in the terminal, you can see that we're in the Workspace folder, which is basically the main container for everything. To move into a folder, you're going to type cd, and then whatever that folder is called. Because the folder that I want to get into is called test, I'm going to hit cd test. And now you can see that it changed. Instead of just being Workspace, it's now Workspace/test. So I know I'm in the test folder. And from here, I'll be able to run my code using a command right here. I'm not going to cover that now. I'll cover that in a later video where I actually talk about making your own programs. But just know that to run a program from the terminal here, you will have to be in the exact same folder as that file, just so computer knows that you're looking for a file in, for example, the test folder. Now, to get out of the test folder, to get back to the main Workspace or whatever folder you want, you're going to hit cd and then ... This basically says, take me out of the current folder I'm in into the previous one, which is Workspace, the main container. The second way to create a file is to go to whatever folder you want it in. For example, if I want it in the main folder, I'd select this one, or if I want it in the test folder, I'll select this one. And you're going to do right click and new file. And there you go. You just got a new file in your folder. And you can name it whatever you want from right here. Remember, it has to be one word. So I'll name it testing.py. And there we go. That's the second way to make a folder. Now, there are a lot of buttons here that I'm not going to cover right now because that'll only concern us later on in programming. But the one thing I am going to cover is the settings. And this is basically how you can customize your Cloud9 IDE to be whatever you want it to be. So right here, you can choose code formatters, hints and warnings, the themes. Do you want it day, night, low color? Right here. And then you can just customize your IDE and make it your personal integrated development environment. Now you have your very own IDE and you're ready to start programming. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe and leave a like, and I'll catch you guys later. This is Codergirl.py signing out.